take a look. This beautiful masterpiece right here, Vegas Loop Day Pass 250 or 37 Dogecoin, not or 37 Dogecoin or 0.0002 something Bitcoin, not 37 Dogecoin or this amount of a fraction of Ethereum. No, just simply and exclusively 37 Dogecoin to ride on the Hyperloop. A day pass, not a bad deal. 37 Doge gets you 24 hours in the Hyperloop. Pretty incredible stuff to see this actually coming to fruition. Elon Musk interacting on Twitter with this, confirming once again his allegiance to Dogecoin. Pretty cool to see that. Finally, it's happening. An exclusive Dogecoin acceptance at a major entity of any kind. We have not seen that happen yet. That's kind of crazy that for all this time, no companies on the planet that have a pretty big reach have exclusively accepted Dogecoin yet. Now the first one, and it's the first of many. When you wonder what is going to catapult Dogecoin into future runs, that is one of the things right there, Dogecoin acceptance. And so we cannot under any circumstances underrate it or do anything of the sort. As the live viewers come up in viewership, make sure to press like on the video. 1 like equals 1 new individual going into your house and giving you a hug. That of course is confirmed by science. I'm legally accountable for saying that. So if one person does not go into your house and give you a hug after you press the like button, then you are allowed to sue me for that, unfortunately. But that's how confident I am that someone will go into your house and give you a hug. Now, I didn't say it would happen today. At some point in the future, if you own a home and you press the like button, someone will come into your home and give you a hug. It could be your mother in 5 years. It could be your father tomorrow. It could be your daughter or son in a week. Who knows? But someone will come give you a hug. All you have to do is press the like button 1 time. Once again, you can sue me, hold me legally accountable for that. If no one ever gives you a hug your entire life in your house, then you're welcome to sue me for all I have. Timothy Stibing is saying, this is how easy it is to get people to sell real things in Dogecoin. He says, when you explain that Dogecoin is just money, but faster, less fees, and you have 100% ownership, that sounds pretty dang good. And it has a funny dog on it. They're all in. So there's a picture of him actually getting this guy to accept Dogecoin. Pretty dang cool there. And I believe that was for... So it was actually for this art piece here, which is a little bit spicy of an art piece. I don't know. Will YouTube get mad at me? YouTube, are you going to demonetize me for showing the spicy art piece? Then take a look at this. A casual chat with a local barista in Australia about Dogecoin turned into the possibility of the first ever coffee bought with Doge. By the way, if you want to go tag him and say, look, Matt Wallace mentioned you in the video. Well, yes, we did, because it's awesome. Turned into possibly the first ever coffee bought with Doge down under. Took less than 3 minutes from finding My Doge Official in the App Store to purchase. He says he's looking forward to more Doge sales in the future. That right there is continued progress. You love to see it happening. And here's the tweet. The Dogecoin main Twitter account confirmed this graphic here saying, from crypto created as a joke to the company created as a joke, Dogecoin and the Boring Company are building the future together. That's awesome. I mean, the Boring Company, think about how silly that is. The name's literally the Boring Company because it's so dang boring, and they sold flamethrowers while being a transportation company under the ground. It's pretty ridiculous. And so that just shows you, like, yeah, it's Elon Musk does not care about messing around. He'll have fun with it. Josh says drink water. Why? I'm fully hydrated, my man. It looks like a few people commented, stay hydrated, drink water. We're hydrated AF. We are indeed. And yes, I did say AF, YouTube. Are you watching me? You're gonna get mad at me for that? What are you gonna do about it, YouTube? Demonetize my video? Give me a yellow money sign? Fine. I'll give you a yellow money sign. I'll get Elon Musk to buy you and then demonetize you. How about that, YouTube? I mean, he has $40-something billion left over now, so we'll just get Elon Musk to buy YouTube, then boom, all of our problems will be solved. I mean, Elon Musk, it's hilarious to watch him troll Twitter on Twitter. I tweeted out that exact thing. It's hilarious to watch Elon Musk troll Twitter on Twitter. Over 25,000 likes, becoming one of the most liked tweets I've ever tweeted. Less likes than I did have a tweet that got 140,000 likes not that long ago. But surprisingly, I've had 2 tweets in the last couple months that have gotten over 20,000 likes, one of them getting 100,000. And before the last 2 months, I've never had that happen. So the energy on Twitter is still starting to go pretty dang crazy. That tweet was seen by like 18 million people or something insane like that. Just think about how big of a number that is. That's like close to 10% of the entire adult population in the United States. Maybe it even is more than 10% of the adult population in the United States. That's insane. That many people seen one tweet, according to the analytics. Then we can scroll and actually see what Elon has been doing on Twitter, I mean, some of the things he's been posting are pretty dang funny. Thanks for the entertainment. Remember when he left Twitter for a while and he was like, boring, is it? Or what was that what he said? So he said something like that. A little boring lately, is it? Or something like that, which I thought was pretty funny. But he's just absolutely trolling Twitter so hard. Take a look at this. They said I couldn't buy Twitter. Then they said they wouldn't disclose the bot info. Now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court. Now they have to disclose the bot info in court. Elon, you're using, I don't think you realize this, you're using Twitter. Elon, are you going to make your own platform? He did say he would either make his own platform or he would buy Twitter, one of those two things. So if he's not going to buy Twitter, what does that mean he's going to do? Make his own platform. Now, there are two ways to look at that. The first one is, okay, that's awesome, he makes his own platform. The second one is, how much traction will it actually get? And would that take away from his influence if he switches exclusively to his new platform? Or what would happen if Twitter then bans him from that? I mean, they probably shouldn't do that, but would they? I don't know. They certainly are petty sometimes. Then he also posted this, a Chuck mate on Twitter. now Twitter, you have to release the bot info, don't you? It's a Chuck mate, isn't it? There's Chuck Norris. There's the checkerboard. Look at that. He only has one piece there. And of course, it doesn't matter. It's Chuck Norris. He's still going to win, of course. If you heard my Twitter Spaces last night, I actually mentioned Chuck Norris on my Twitter Spaces in which I talked about Elon Musk. And then like 30 minutes later, Elon Musk posted a Chuck Norris meme. Was he listening? I don't know. I hope so. I mean, Chuck Norris is a pretty memeable character. So there's a decent chance he would have done that on his own, even without seeing my thing. But hopefully he did. It was entertaining. I enjoyed that. Doge XRP, baby. I've only ever bought 2 cryptos over 6 years, says Matt AWA or AFAWA. Nice coming in. Elon should buy Voyager as well, says Michael Boyd. Yeah, if Elon Musk buys an exchange, I think that'll be an extremely profitable decision for him and extremely helpful. I mean, I guess the truth is, we say profitable. Does he care about that? No, he doesn't. Name one thing he does anymore that's about making profits. Is there anything? I mean, I guess you could argue everything, but at the same time, I think he would still be doing all those things if it wasn't about profitability or not. At the end of the day, Elon Musk has enough money to live whatever lifestyle he chooses. There's no limit to his lifestyle ability and potential, at least financially speaking. So what more does he have to benefit or gain? Well, you could argue he wants more money to go to Mars, but buying an exchange would not make enough money to be able to contribute significantly in comparison to his other business ventures. So that wouldn't be an argument. It really just depends on how you look at it. And I don't think there's any way to look at it and say Elon Musk is out only for himself, because he's not. Yes, if you want to press the like button, very smart indeed. Everyone knows 1 like equals 1 person coming into your house and giving you a hug. Now, if that person happens to be a bad guy and the hug is non-consensual, then I apologize. I mean, I shouldn't have set up the like feature that way, that it does mean someone comes to your house to give you a hug. Now, it's supposed to, according to the like algorithm, have someone you love come give you a hug, or someone that loves you at the very least. But if that doesn't happen, then okay, that is one part. You don't hold me legally accountable for that. I mean, I can't be responsible if that happens, unfortunately. Still worth it though. I mean, come on, like the chances of that happening are what, like 1%, maybe 25% max. So easily worth it to press the like button. You don't have to worry about that whatsoever. What's the best application to use Doge to buy things with? Good question there. So the best application to use Doge to buy things with, I personally think Coinbase Wallet is pretty seamless and easy, and you can spin Dogecoin there. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Robinhood has so many limitations. Yes, you can now. They did roll out the wallets, so that's a good thing. But still, limitations on top of limitations. Like, for example, you cannot send more than 2 decimal points when you send a Dogecoin. So if you are buying something from a store and you have to send an exact amount to match the dollar, let's say, for example, 25.3878965 Dogecoin, you can only send 29.85 Dogecoin or 25.85 Dogecoin. So that's a big limitation that Robinhood has, and Coinbase doesn't have that same limitation. And there's a difference, Coinbase versus Coinbase Wallet. Coinbase, yes, you can do those same things on Coinbase. However, it is something that you do not have any privacy when it comes to that. With your own wallet, you have the privacy, and that's, I think, a very positive thing. You have privacy, at least when it comes to entities. When it comes to your own personal transactions, those actually are public, but it doesn't really matter because no one knows that's your wallet address unless you tell them. So there's a lot of ways to look at it. If you don't want anyone to ever see what you do, then you could use an exchange like Coinbase to do it, and no one individual could. But entities could. You may not want that, if you know what I mean there. You probably do. Then if you want to just simply be able to transact, by far Coinbase Wallet is one of the best ways to do that. Now they do have some fees and stuff associated with it, so Kraken is also another option. Kraken's not bad, Kraken Pro. Then you could just simply go with a very basic wallet like Trust Wallet. There's a lot of options that are available, and you really can choose whatever you think is best. But yeah, those are, hopefully that answered your question, and maybe even too much. Someone said delete your channel if Doge doesn't hit $1. Yes, that is what we're doing. We will delete our YouTube channel if Dogecoin does not hit $1, and the reason why is because Dogecoin is going to hit $1 by the end of the year. The statistical probability of that happening based on the moon landing is extremely high. Now, if the moon landing doesn't happen this year with Dogecoin, then it technically could be until next year that we see $1, which would be very unfortunate. But you know what? A commitment is a commitment. And I'm very confident Elon Musk will get it done on time. Dogecoin to the moon this year. To the moon! That sounds pretty dang good. So are you... someone said someone's terrible at trolling. Oh. S said right-winger goofy coin at negative value. Someone thinks Dogecoin's a right-winger coin. I mean, how? I would say Dogecoin's probably one of the least politically affiliated coins out there. I mean, you could argue Elon Musk said he's going to vote for a Republican in the next election, therefore Dogecoin's right-winger, but not really, because Elon Musk isn't even a right-winger. He's not that political of a person. He just simply feels as if there needs to be change in the country, and he thinks the way to do it is that. We don't have to agree with him on that. We don't have to disagree with him on that. We can just simply say, all right, that's his opinion. He's allowed to have it, and we can form our own opinions. It shouldn't be this divisive climate where everyone has to agree with you all the time, or else you have to hate the person and you can't ever like them. It's not that serious. I mean, it's just politics. If a politician does bad stuff that causes the economy to do poorly, and they do bad stuff that hurt us as a population, then we don't like them. If they do good stuff and positive things and put the country in the right direction, then we do like them. It's really not complicated. It shouldn't be about all these social issues like a lot of people want to make it about. It's just simply whoever does the best job, elect that person. And yes, there's some degree of truth to the fact that you need to have someone who's a good leader, who's respected around the world. As long as those things are ticked off the box, well, I personally would be happy for them to be president, regardless of what party they're in. As long as they're doing the right things, it's that simple. Party affiliation has kind of become way too cliche lately and way too important to people. We should move away from that system as quickly as possible, and hopefully that will happen. It would be great to already be gone from it, but we're not yet, unfortunately. S says, okay, good answer. Okay, fine, S. If that's what you want to say, fine. It must be. S is clearly a kid. It's okay. It's okay. S, you can troll all you want. We don't mind it. Bring on the trolling, S. Well, what is your name? Sam? Maybe Steven? Who knows? It could be anything. It could be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, which would mean your parents don't like you very much if they did name you that. Because just imagine if you're in first grade and you have to write your name on the piece of paper and the teacher's looking at you, staring at you, waiting for you to write it, and you're like, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious all the way through with each and every letter. I mean, heck, I'm an adult and I don't even know if I can spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I can't even hardly say it. What, is that your name? Who knows? It certainly is. S says, thanks, I love trolling. S, you like politics too much, buddy. It does not matter. It really doesn't at the end of the day. And I personally don't like to talk too much about politics on the show because I want everyone to love it. I could make a political show every single night if we wanted to. I mean, there's always political things to talk about, but why would we choose to do that? You can go to literally any political commentator. If you want politics, go to like a political podcaster. If you want to hear about cryptocurrency and finance, then you can come here. It's pretty simple. You have that choice, right? I'm not going to make it for you and talk about politics, especially because what if I say something that you disagree with and you're like, well, I don't want to hear that. So then what? You can't listen to Dogecoin news because you disagree with me on politics and you don't want to hear it? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Why put people in that position? Why not just be unbiased on the show, actually say things that are true, cover cryptocurrency? If there's a political thing that we want to talk about, we'll talk about it fairly without having bias. And it's that simple. It's not hard. It's so easy. More people should do that, I think. I mean, I hate it when I watch a show and they just start getting all political. I'm like, I'm not watching the show for that reason. I just came for entertainment. So entertain me, please. Stop with the messaging. Rich Dad channel is pretty good. It says Kyle311. Albany NY holding 250k Dogecoins, not going anywhere. Bi-weekly. I like the sound of that coming in from Mitchell. We also have another story to talk about right now, which is, of course, this story right here. We are seeing a ton of stuff happening when it comes to the sentiment of cryptocurrency. Unfortunately, the sentiment is down right now. Lowest in 12 months of global data reveals business sentiment towards cryptocurrencies as a theme declined by 8% in Q2 versus Q1 of 2022. So already from last quarter to this quarter, an 8% decline in sentiment on cryptocurrency. Very unfortunate to see that. It is what it is. Some people not being optimistic about it makes sense. Remember, we had the poll yesterday that showed 60% of retail investors, not crypto investors, very important, of retail investors believe that cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically, will go down to 10K. Fortunately, that's not a poll of crypto investors, because if crypto investors thought that, then it would almost certainly happen, right? They don't. Now, that does make the job a little bit harder of climbing out and going back over all-time highs, but it won't be that much harder when the mania starts to set in, because then people say, oh, I was wrong. I want to try to catch the train before it takes off. I want to catch the rocket. I want to jump on. Like, if you jump on Elon Musk's rocket before it takes off, then, of course, you'll probably end up pregnant. There's a good joke right there. There's a good joke right there. Take a look at that joke. YouTube, if you get mad at me for that, I will literally go to Rumble or I'll become a full-time Twitter. It was a funny joke, YouTube. Imagine they demonetize me for that. I mean, it's true. He has 10 kids at this point. If you do that, that's the result. It is what it is. I mean, we have 90% guy audience, but to the 10% of females listening, now you know what happens. Now you know. We need Biden and Kamala, says Dogecoin Ape. I mean, people getting political lately. It's true. Like, some people saying Trump 2020, some people saying they like Biden and Kamala. I mean, the truth is, right now, I don't think anyone really likes the political system. I think it's entirely corrupt, and every single politician, for the most part, with a couple exceptions, are making large amounts of money by putting in policies that help the companies that are paying them rather than helping the actual people. So if you think any politician is super great and dandy right now, then you probably have not looked into it enough to realize that that's probably not the case in many ways, because a lot of their actions are not really in your best interest. It's in their own best interest. And so we need to go back to a system where politicians are held more accountable, and there are things put in place to block them from making money off of doing things that are in their interest versus our interest. Or I don't know, maybe he was being sarcastic. Maybe he actually doesn't like Biden and Kamala. I don't know. Dogecoin Ape, were you being sarcastic, or are you a fan of them? Brandon is sus, says, LOL, we need Biden and Kamala, ha 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 ha. He thinks that's very funny. Then Dogecoin Ape says, I agree 100%. So, okay, all right, he agrees with us. He agrees with us. I mean, the truth is, no politician right now, you can honestly say, is doing as good of a job as they could be doing. And that's an unrealistic expectation, right? We can't expect them to actually be fully doing our interest, but we can at least expect like 90%, right? And right now we're at what, like 40%, 30% our interest, 70% their own interest, maybe 50% if we want to be generous to them. That's unacceptable. That's not cutting it. We can't have that happen when you have some of the people in Congress that Unusual Whales is calling out for making millions and millions and millions of dollars, even hundreds of millions in some cases, off of being politicians. You know something's wrong in the system and it needs to be corrected. Can we start the Travis Scott apology meme again? Too soon, man. Too soon. Like literally 100 years from now, too soon still. It's always too soon. It's never not too soon enough. Gary Gacy says Doge. That actually was a really unfortunate situation. I mean, I honestly cannot believe that happened at a concert. I mean, it's just shocking to think you could go to a concert and you could end up not going home. You would never expect that. Now, at a soccer game in Europe, there is that risk that's way higher because things like that happen. But at a concert, you really wouldn't think that would be the case. So very unfortunate and sad what happened. But Dogecoin for president, there we go. MAGA Tony G1 1995 says Dogecoin for president. Now that's a message I can get behind. You know what? I didn't want to do it, but after all this time, I think it's time to finally put my hat in the ring and then take my hat back out of the ring. because I don't want to leave it in there. If my hat's inside of a ring, how am I going to use it? And then also, I'm going to run for president too. Okay. You get it? You get it? Because I said I was going to put my hat in the ring, and of course that means run for president, but then actually I meant putting my hat in a physical ring. Do you get it now that I explained the joke, and now that I completely ruined it by explaining it? Now do you get it? Do you get it? Do you understand? Do you get my joke? Was it good? Am I funny? Do I finally get your approval? Oh my gosh. That was such a bad joke. I don't care. I still did it anyway. Deal with it. Deal with it. But basically, yes, I'm running for president. I'm officially announcing it. And my entire campaign is make Dogecoin the legal tender of the world. Yeah, that's right. I'm not just running for president of the United States. I'm running for president of the world. Move over Putin. Move over Biden. Move over. And I shall be the president from now on. Dogecoin is my entire campaign. Run for president and then make Dogecoin official currency, says Osman. I will. Maybe I actually will. What if I actually did that? What if I actually ran for president with that? I mean, of course, I wouldn't win, right? But imagine the publicity we could get if I go through the process of applying to run for president and we use our audience to get on the ballot. Because we could do that, right? You have to get, I think, a certain amount of signatures. We could use our audience to push that, get me on the ballot. Then I could literally be on the political stage with random politicians. And I would be only simply every time they ask me a question talking about Dogecoin. I mean, just imagine the meme level of that. Oh, wow. Michael says I would vote for you. I appreciate that, Michael. I will use the office to make you proud. Don't worry. I'll only take millions and millions and millions of dollars every single day as a politician, because that's exactly what politicians do. No, I wouldn't do that. If I was president, what I would do is I would instead focus on one specific and sole mission: Dogecoin is legal tender. Everything else, we can push that. We can push it off to a later date. It's just a one specific thing. Matt Millionaire says Anthony Burton. You have my vote, says Morty OGs. Andrew Yang says Jaquan. My vote too, says 100K Records. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, that is true. Yes, there are a few people who are supporting Ron DeSantis. Joe Rogan said he supports Ron DeSantis, and I think Elon Musk does too. So that's one option for 2024. Would he be good or not? I guess it's hard to say. Then a few other people want to see Biden running again. Some people want to see, what's the name of the governor of California? Andrew Newsom. Some people want to see him. It really just depends. If you're a Democrat, you probably want to see someone like that. Some people may want Kamala Harris. I've never personally heard someone tell me they want that, but I'm sure someone does. Then, I mean, pretty much every single politician that's well known has a chance to win in 2024. Every single one is going to try to run. It could get pretty crazy. Unfortunately, I'm not old enough to run yet, so it may be kind of difficult for me to do that at this point, but I mean, maybe in the future, we'll see. I will vote for you as well, it says Hector Rosales. Then you got my vote, says Sir Gus. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's a great idea for publicity. It actually is. That actually would be a fantastic way to get publicity for Dogecoin. Just think. Right now, we're all young. We literally have our entire lives to do crazy fun things to get publicity for Dogecoin. We can come up with the most insane plans ever. Just imagine as we all grow financially together, as we all grow as a community, all the cool stuff we can do, endless possibilities, a lot of fun. So I'm personally extremely excited about the prospect of that. I can't wait. I really can't. Anyway, I'll go ahead and end the stream. I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand. Just kidding. I'm actually going to stay. Oh, you thought I was going to leave? I would never leave you like that. I'm not going to say goodbye without saying I love you first. I love you. But I'm still going to keep saying more stuff because I feel like it. We need all the politicians, says B double-ish. We need, the amount of politicians we need is this many. If you're just listening, I'm holding up a 0. Oh, not the 3. I'll cover up the 3. We need 0. 0 politicians. Who would like to see Biden, Kamala, or Newsom? You have to be a Shiba coin. You're making fun of SHIB holders? I see what you did there. Run for the governor of California, says Michael. I don't live in California, so I couldn't do that. How about this? I'll run for the Ooh, I could run for the governor of my state, though. Ooh, that's a good, for publicity for Dogecoin. That's a good idea. And then we can launch our campaign for the presidency of Dogecoin after that. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.